much for coming on and taking some time. We so appreciate this.
Absolutely. I'm sorry. I'm like in a little bit of a tizzy. I told you I was elbows deep in lemon curd. So I'm here. Okay. Hi, guys.
Hey.
Hey. Good. Good.
Okay. So Jasmin, tell us, who are you? Who is Jasmin?
Right.
And what are you doing?
That's such a loaded question. Some of my friends have tried to describe me in the past, and they say I end up sounding schizophrenic because I'm just like all over the place and 100% in all different directions. But as for background, I guess on how I got here, I come from a family of entrepreneurs. So I think I can attribute most of what we do to that part. I did go to the University of Georgia, and I do have a degree in advertising with a minor in sociology. So those kind of go hand in hand. But I did decide like 3 months before graduation that I didn't want to go into advertising, which was not my mom's favorite phone call. But it's led us here, so we're okay. But 2 weeks after I graduated, I was at Le Cordon Bleu just doing a certificate program in baking and pastry. Got out of there and just kind of like hit the ground running. Started working in Atlanta for a bunch of the Ford Fry restaurants under pastry chef Christopoulos. So 4 years in that. I went savory as a lead line cook for about a year, and then I got out and did what we're doing now.
Wow.
So when did you guys, so now you're Gracious Plenty,
Yeah.
right there in Roswell on Canton Street. So when did you guys open up there?
So we're about almost at 2 full years now. July 25th was 2018 now, I'll say. But little cute story about our building is that building's been in my family for over 30 years, and it used to be my parents' business. So like I said, I come from a line of entrepreneurs, so.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So what was the building way before 30 years ago?
They had a salon, and it was one big building. So that was before the wall went up. So I grew up running around inside of there, watching Canton Street evolve.
That's so cool. So, and Jasmin, you work with your husband.
I do. And we have Charlie May, who's 5 months old.
Charlie May. I love her name. Okay. All right. So you guys opened up. How long's it been? The restaurant?
Almost 2 years now. So it'll be 2 full years.
So a few months ago, we had some crazy events starting to come out. So tell us how you guys and your business, what did y'all have to do? What have you done to pivot?
So I'll say this, in this industry, adaptability is just part of the trade. It's kind of just part of the success model. So nobody expected this to accelerate the way it did. So that is still shocking, honestly. We took some notes from Chick-fil-A. I'll say that. We kind of, as soon as they decided to close their dining room, we were right behind them. So we were one of the first people on Canton Street to close our dining room. We're really lucky because we've gained such a strong following in the small 2 years that we've been open. And being a breakfast place, we get the opportunity to see people 4 or 5 sometimes a week, like we can be part of their routine. So these people are our friends and they trust us. So when we decided and we told everybody, hey, dining room closed, we're going drive-through only, we're going to go family meal style, people showed up. So like it was easy for us, like we just kept working. So this thing is really weird because there's some of us that aren't working at all, and then there's those of us that are working more than we have in our entire lifetime, which is true for those of us at Gracious Plenty. But like I said, this is what we do. So as long as people will show up in that drive-through, we'll cook all night long.
Mm-hmm. Wow. And so the gosh, what was I just going to ask you? Gosh, I can't think. It was on the tip of my.
What from what you guys have done with adapting, is there anything that you can see like, hey, we're going to keep this after things go back to quote normal? What's going to continue on?
I wish Canton Street would let us have a drive-through window, which I know is completely out the window, but that would be so cool because it's been a really cool thing for us. there's some changes on the horizon. There's some things that we were able to take a step back and look at and kind of realize that we had strayed a little bit from the real mission of what Gracious Plenty is. So we're going to come back to that, but we're still going to be here. We're still going to be feeding everybody. So it's going to be exciting.
I know what my question was. So you said you had quite a following, like 2 years for, the first 2 years you opened. So what would you attribute so many eyeballs and attention to in those first startup years?
For us, I'll say what brought people back. I mean, we have good food, so that's, a thing, but that's Canton Street. So that's a standard. We've got a good atmosphere, Canton Street again. But for us, what brings people back is, I think, our service. Time and time again in our reviews, we get good food, good service. And there's a lot of good food nowadays. A lot of people have made cooking a profession, and good service is hard to come by because it's a 100% human-run business dealing with 100% humans. And it's interesting and difficult, and you have to be a psychologist and a sociologist and a therapist and all these things to try and make it work. But I think people like to be taken care of at the end of the day. And like I said, because we're a breakfast place and we see them in the morning, we get them right away. We have that opportunity to start their day off right. We know everybody's names, everybody's orders. So everybody is somebody to us, and that's just the genuine truth. Like, it's not an act for us. It's a genuine thing.
So you've really served a few people well, and then that just has, they're just patrons of your business now. The first time I heard your name I went gluten-free and dairy-free 2 years ago in June, and that's about the time you opened, and my eyeballs went straight to you guys because you were doing at the Christmas carols. We were doing caroling on Canton Street, and y'all were selling cookies, gluten-free cookies, and that was awesome. That was really cool.
Yeah, that's another thing. We're chefs, so we like to showcase our capabilities, and these aren't just preferences anymore. These are diets that people have chosen to live their life by, and that's something that we like to respect. So as much as we can, we'll gear up for that.
Yeah, that's been awesome. Cool.
And we know you guys have an awesome reputation for giving back with the community as well. So tell us, I guess, what y'all been doing and how we can help.
So this is giving back, like you said, is kind of one of the things that Gracious Plenty has had the time to step back and really dive into, and it's been something we've really enjoyed. We were lucky enough to get linked up with Mike Thomas really early in the game. We've known Mike for a couple years now. Kind of our businesses kind of brought us together, and he's got the same genuine heart that we do for the same things. And through Corona, he made this school meals program for these children that were dependent on school meals. And Connor and I have always had a huge heart for children, especially in our area, especially when it comes to food. Nobody should be going hungry. So we hit the ground running with them. So we were doing about 150 meals a week for kids. And as we gained more restaurants, things we got to slow down to about 70 meals a week. And what we did after that was we would start sending meals to hospital staff. So just really, we feel blessed. We feel lucky that we still have a place to go to, that we are still making customers happy, and there's still money coming in the door. And we feel a big responsibility to turn around and give that back. So going forward, we're hoping that the school meals program continues into something beyond this, because the issue of kids depending on schools for meals was already there before this. So we'll see what we can make happen.
And yeah, that's something that has just been such a gift of all of this is finding ways to really work around red tapes of schools' applications. And some of the kids that are receiving these amazing meals, I mean, they've got to be blown away by the food and quality that they're getting. But
kids are the worst critics. I'm telling you. I was cooking eggs one day at Gracious Plenty, and I had one egg come back, and it was a 7-year-old, and he called me out on my scramble. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. You're right. The kids, they're critics. But I mean, what we learned from Mike was through his wife, Lindsay, quite a few of the kids sometimes miss the deadline. I mean, there's cutoffs to make these school meals. And with this COVID era that we're in, that really kind of went out the window. And now it's a level playing field, and everyone can just come, and receive. So I just thought that was a gift of all of this. What else have you just seen personally in your business that's been kind of a gift of all of this? Have y'all come together a little bit more than you ever have, or met people you haven't known before?
I'll go within our walls, within our company, instead of going, because it's multiple layers of answers for that. But within our company, I'll say we don't have a huge amount of staff. So, these were personal conversations that we were having, not these big blast emails. And everybody has been so understanding. The ones that we could help get jobs other places, we help get jobs, because our butcher, I'm sorry, we got a plane going over, which is so weird. Not used to those anymore. But so butcher shops, as soon as all this happened and the meat aisles were cleared at the grocery stores, our butcher shops were crazy busy. So we sent as many as we could over there. Other ones, we kind of, started doing odd jobs around the restaurant, whatever we could to float. We had all those promises of the stimulus and the PPP and the SBA. So we were on the edge of it. So, it's all been so quick. But I mean, we're a family. And because of that, it's given me the ability to wake up every morning and keep going, because I know they want to come back to their home. So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I remember coming in on, I think it was a snow day, and I was like peeking in, hello, are you guys here? Because I need some food. And they're like, of course, like the owners walk here for work. There's no excuse. So tell us about the chickens and where do you live?
Okay, so
restaurant? No, I'm kidding.
Connor and I live right on North Coleman, so we're not too far away. We rent a property from my younger sister, which is such a funny story. Like I said, family of entrepreneurs. But she's allowed us to kind of make this our little haven for right now. It's a blessing to be able to live so close to the restaurant, because there's opportunities like that where we can be there. So whoever lives on the street and it's snow day, if you want to come in, we're here, because we walked here too. But we've got, we just got chickens recently because I want some fresh eggs, and we've got probably 36 tomato plants back here that we use to supply, like dinners we do, fancy dinners and stuff we do through the restaurant. We've also got a fig tree and a peach tree that are fruiting. That's really exciting. And an herb garden, and we're working on a strawberry patch right now.
Wow. I have an 11-year-old little girl who is for years that if you need her for anything you need in the garden. Seriously.
I'll say this. That's another thing we've been talking about, because I know you moms and you families, you've got these kids home. So summer camp can't come fast enough. So we're talking about a cooking summer camp.
Oh, that'd be cool. So you guys do, I didn't realize you guys do catering for dinners and.
Yeah, we do. So we say it's kind of hard to get us to say no. So we've done weddings. I do wedding cakes. We do personal dinners where Connor or I will go to the house and personally chef. Normally Connor, he'll go out on the farms and cook. We do really anything. We're up for any challenge.
Wow. That is awesome. So there is something big that you guys are doing pretty soon, like in a week. What's the date?
I know.
Yeah.
Gosh.
15th.
7 days. So in a week, what's going down for Gracious Plenty with school meal program?
So I know last I heard we were aiming for 400 meals, but Connor and Mike, they like to go big. So we might be going even bigger than that. But I know we've got a team of people coming over to help us out. We're going to be busting out a bunch of meals for these kids and really do like just a big generated meal kickoff kind of thing. Mike and I have been talking about some other things, so I don't know how much he wants me to say. but I know that this is going to be in a week. It's kind of going to be a big kickoff to some big stuff.
So,
Cool. Very cool. So have y'all been delivering the foods or just setting it up and somebody comes in and drops it? How does that work?
Mike really takes care of all that. That's what's so beautiful about this is it's really beneficial for all parties. So Mike will arrange for volunteers to come pick up from the restaurant. So we just have to have the meals ready to go at a specific time. They come up, we load their car up, and they're gone, and they go to the drop-off point, and that's it. It's so easy. It's so efficient. It's great for everybody. I can't see this not continuing. So.
And so, what do you put in what do these kids eat? What do you put in there?
So I know that's a challenge because we can't get too fancy. They won't eat it. They don't want all that stuff. I get it. I was a picky eater growing up. So we've been doing things like barbecue sandwiches where we'll smoke the butts ourselves and I'll make the buns and we'll do like a homemade coleslaw and some potato chips. Or what else we did grilled chicken and broccoli one day. We've been really just mixing it up. It's kind of fun to tap back into like what you would want to eat as a kid. So, and then you just execute it better. So it's like the best barbecue sandwich they've ever had. But we've done some pasta dishes as well. So we'll try and do things that are like vegetarian because we don't know what everybody's, we don't want to limit who can take our meals that are coming out either. So whatever we got, really.
That's awesome. What are y'all's plans for opening back up?
So it's crazy, because like I feel like it was just yesterday we were all still hibernating and now it's like time to start going again. So we'll probably slowly reopen the dining room. We're not really sure about that right now, but we'll continue doing this drive-through patio kind of deal. We'll start adding more days on now that we are going to be able to bring back our staff and just really kind of slide into this new avenue that we're going to be hopefully taking on.
Yeah. And do people go online and order now more? Is that kind of where you push them to a website or do they just call you?
How it is right now is I keep saying we're just like Chick-fil-A. So we've got a drive-through set up. We've got our team running in and out of the front door. So if you know the setup, you just line up so that you're facing the street next to our front door. And or you can walk up and we'll have patio, but it's really just geared towards to go. There's not really a call ahead. We have whiteboards, it's like chalkboards, but we call it our whiteboard menu. So our whiteboard menu's outside, but a lot of the items are pretty staple. We're doing biscuit sandwiches and burritos. We've got monkey bread, cinnamon rolls normally, almond cake. We're doing a different right now we're doing carrot cake. We just started doing these little personable, I call them personable because they can be personal or shareable pies, 6 inches. So each week we'll be doing a different pie. We're doing tacos right now, right now at Gracious Plenty until 2. So if you're hungry, they're really good tacos. We've been doing those every Thursday, backed by demand. So who knows? We're just going to keep on adding and just keep going and see what. I'll tell you this, like you think people want one thing and you throw it out there and they gravitate towards something else. So we're just going to let the people talk.
Yeah. Yeah.
That is so awesome. Wow.
Very cool. So for those that don't know, do you want to let everybody know exactly where you are on Canton Street and how to find you?
Yeah, I'll give all that information out. So we're located at the north end. We're connected to NOCA, so 1164 Canton Street. Sometimes people don't see us. We used to be a salon, so people come up and they're like, I didn't know you were here. We're a little wooden sign in the back. You can find us Gracious Plenty BB on Facebook or Instagram. We're really present on Instagram. So that's kind of what we've been using to update everybody since everything's been so by the minute.
Yeah, cool. Awesome. Well, thank you for your time, and thanks for all you guys are doing and in
Thank you guys
Roswell
for
and with
giving
the
us
school
the
builds.
opportunity to talk about it.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
So we look forward to seeing you guys on the 14th and helping out with that.
We got all your aprons ready, so we're
Yeah,
excited.
awesome.
Oh, good.
Cool.
Aprons, are we cooking? You might not want me back there. Okay. Oh, goodness.
Well, Jasmin, anything else you want to add before we wrap up, or Joanne, anything else?
I don't think so. I just think I've heard such great things about just really your passion with the business. That was kind of the first vibe I felt before I ever really tasted the food. I mean, I really wasn't into eating cookies the night of the Christmas thing because it was freezing cold. And but I think the way that y'all were serving it and your servant heart was really showing that night. So and you were, a lot of people had mentioned the restaurant right when it opened, like, oh my gosh, and the food. And so then we were like, okay, maybe this is good food too, right? So I think what you guys are doing is fantastic. And so appreciate all you're doing for school meals. We're just happy to be behind you and supporting how we can.
Awesome. Thank you guys. We really appreciate it. We're really excited. It's going to be a lot of fun.
All right.
Okay. Good